Namaskar, viewers. They say that manashashtan indriyani. So, mind is the powerful thing that human beings have, and right usage of mind makes you a wonderful person and helps you to be fearless. So, my today's guest is Dr. Ushy Mohandas from Bengaluru. Uh, she has two very important keywords in her life. One is called wisdom works, and second one is called new clear energy. So, what are these two terminologies, and what is that she, being a doctor, being a stand-up comedian, being a motivational speaker, being a life coach, and few more. So, more than 13 or 14 careers she will be juggling through. So, how is that, and what is her advice to people who take everything in a pessimistic way or do not know how to react certain situation? So, all that we'll talk to her. So, let me first of all formally welcome Dr. Rushi. So,
Thank
Swagatam.
you. Thank you, Ketki, for having me.
Being a pediatrician, does it help you to become to be a positive and energetic towards life? Because you always see that new energy.
Well, let me tell you, there are no general rules.
Uh-huh.
And I will say there is no generalization.
Yeah.
Everything is about individuals. So it's wrong on my part to say that all doctors are happy, all pediatricians are happy, and all coaches are happy. All mind coaches don't have stress. So all of these things are big bluffs. Now, if I really want to become a nice Babaji or, get into that, like come here, I will save you mode, then it's okay. But being an honest person, I'm a very normal human being. In spite of having coached on mental stress for more than 38 years now, I get stressed myself. So even though I know all the remedies, I still suffer from stress. Even though I teach people how to be happy, there are times when I'm not able to be happy. There are times when I've helped lots of patients, especially children. They keep me vibrant, they keep me alive. But the truth is, I feel like beating them up sometimes because they too make you wild. Because they test your patience, they run around you. Even as parents, we know when our children just keep climbing onto you, scratching you, biting you, jumping all over you, they test you. And you know what happens? At some point, there is a breaking point for everybody.
True.
Some people break after 1 hour, some people break in 1 minute.
True.
So what happens is like, अपने भी जो खुद के बच्चे होते हैं, you feel like actually just giving them
Yes,
one.
very true.
So that is the truth. So in my case, what has been the experience is, if people are subjected to 10 experiences in 1 week, Ketaki, I've been subjected to 10 experiences in 1 minute. Because I choose to be in areas like that. Even as a doctor, I always ask questions. In fact, my nickname is Mrs. Doubtfire. Because forever I have doubts, and I'm always like, ye kaise hua, ye kab hua, ye kyun hua, and the scientist in me is always asking questions. The spiritualist in me is always smiling and telling me that aham brahmasmi, everything is inside you, so don't worry. Okay. Now, this philosophy is always a paradox. Those who are happy can also be sad.
Yes.
Those who feel white can also feel black.
Yes.
Those who experience lots of noise, only they can experience calm.
Yes.
So the entire mind works on extremes. The entire mind tries to moderate, but unfortunately, as human beings, we all are individual, unique personalities. And I treat myself as being a very unique personality. In fact, many of my friends tease me and say that after God made you, he destroyed the mold because he didn't want any competition.
But that's true with every individual, because everyone is an individual.
Yes. So everybody is unique. Yes. And everybody cannot be in the same mold. Yes. So I have serious objections to people who say that, oh, you're just like her. No. Oh, she's just like you. I think all of us are unique. And there cannot be another piece just like you. True. And I have worked on that, being unique, being individual, as much as possible. 99% of the time, I stuck with the truth. 1% of the time, I might have just kept quiet because it would have hurt somebody very badly.
True.
But I didn't lie. And I think it's really important to understand this. Yes. As a person, I'm honest. Even my enemy will subscribe to the fact that Ushy is honest. जब वो बोलती है तो सही रहना चाहिए, because she'll never lie. They also have that impression that I'm authentic because what I do is always mine.
Original.
And come from a very deep portion of my own soul. I believe that if I say something, I must mean it. If not, I don't say it. I'm a person of integrity. जो मैं बोलती हूँ वो कर दिखाती हूँ और बिना मतलब की चीज मैं नहीं बोलती हूँ, even if it's for fun. And at the end of the day, I think I love people. So for me, people are my life. My life is people. They may be rich, they may be poor, they may be good, they may be bad. They may be old, they may be young, but it's all people. And I think the more the people you have with you, the more your energy, the more your resources. Money can't buy some things. No. And I think I have many of those things money can't buy. So that gives me an eternal source of joy. That gives me an eternal source of happiness. That gives me an eternal source of gratitude. And finally, at the end of the day, I believe that I am working hard to make a living, but at the end of the day, there's nothing worth being a good human being. And that means whatever in my capacity I have done, and I will continue to do without any excuses. So that is my philosophy in life. You're unique, no excuses, put in efforts, be a master of 50,000 kicks practiced once, or one kick practiced 50,000 times. That is your choice. I'm a master of one kick practiced 50,000 times. I think you should keep going deeper and deeper inside yourself. Many of us are very carried away with social media, advertising, lots of, PR, fluff, pani mein dhula de, so all the fluff goes off. Finally, you have to be comfortable with who you are. So I ask everybody that question, are you comfortable with who you are? Then you don't need to change. I have sometimes not been comfortable, so I work hard at trying to change myself. And I think as you keep competing with yourself, you keep growing to a higher level of yourself. Many people, they are born, they study, they get a job, they get a salary, they get married, they have kids, they keep on having more kids. And then at the end of the day, their kids keep having kids. And one fine day you'll retire and you'll die. If you're happy like that, yes, please be happy. I'm not happy like that. So you start doing more and more because there's a word called potential.
Yes.
I think all of us have potential. All of us. Same potential. Some of us extract it. Some of us just keep it.
Remain like that.
Safeguard it. Don't share it. And become smaller and smaller. I believe in becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and distributing as much as you can and then just disappearing from this earth.
एक चीज आपने बोली कि you have a lot of doubts and you ask a lot of questions. So you were one of those students who would stand out of the class for asking questions.
Yes, almost every class. In fact, I've been called as, in a lighter vein. A lot of my friends say that she's a very outstanding student. She stood outside the class all her life. So I think at some point that's a stale joke which everyone uses, but it's very true to me because anything they said, I would not blindly believe. I needed some evidence. I also needed to validate. So I always go back and, experience it. I always try and validate through experiences. I don't blindly read a book and believe it. I don't believe it because somebody told me. I think at some point, your own personal experience should be your teacher.
True.
And I think if you all look back at our lives, if you learn from every experience, you should have been wiser.
True.
Most of us are repeating experiences
same
because
mistake.
And you're keeping on doing the same mistake because you did not learn. So that's why they say in life, you either win or you learn. And the same lessons keep coming to you until you learn. The day you learn, you'll have a different lesson coming. So I'm a student of life. I will always be one. Though I've been teaching, I think the reason I've been teaching is because I have a selfish interest to keep learning from the students. And I think that's the best way to keep in touch. Because you're reading, you're sharing, you're understanding, you're moving with times. I can get along with the 18-year-old. I can get along with the 8-year-old. I can get along with the 80-year-old. So that means that my flexibility has improved. My mind has expanded.
Absolutely.
And I think I'm innovative in my thinking. But most importantly, when I fail, I come back with double force. It means that I've never accepted failure. I just went on, finding strategies, moving around it, and, going through it, basically going through anything, accepting it and going through. I think that's my philosophy.
Ushiji, you know what? Generally, people who choose the professional career, like an engineer, doctor, IAS, IPS for that matter, they say they are with very limited humor. And you are you are a person who is also stand-up comedian. Now, how is that possible?
They say that the most difficult of times is what we give ourselves. So if you can have a sense of humor, it's a center in your brain. And just like you want to build your muscle, you must keep that center alive. I've seen death many times being a doctor.
Yes.
I have seen it from my youngest days. I've lost many important and precious people in my life.
True.
I know what death is.
Yes.
That is the truth.
True.
All of us have to die one day.
True.
But for me, I think when we're alive, if you've gone to the toilet, you've had a meal, you have a place to sleep, why the hell are you looking like this, Yes. Half of us are walking around with a big face.
I know.
Half of us are
like this, yes.
You go to an airport, you never see anybody smiling.
Smiling, true.
You see on the road, if you smile at somebody, they look at you like pagal hai.
As if, yeah, I know.
So if I crack a joke in a very good management school today, that fellow won't smile. He'll ask me, what is the meaning of this joke, madam? And I have to explain
when does a joke has a meaning?
And then after I explain the meaning and I tell him that it was published in the Journal of Humor, this happened, world over it's accepted, and at 9 p.m. news it's being discussed. So it's a very important joke and then you need to laugh. He'll say, ha ha, it's a funny joke, LOL. So today's world, we have emotions in LOL, ROFL, LMAO, all this kind of ABCD, EFG.
Yes.
I'm somebody very simple. I have no big needs in my life. I don't want to wear, crystals and gold and drive a Lamborghini and all that. I don't mind a ride if my friends have one, but I don't want to own anything. So I believe at some point, if you take humor in your life and you observe everything with a little bit of humor, stress reduces. Immediately, it's like pouring water on fire. It's like the situation becomes easy to handle. The situation becomes lighter to feel. And at the end of the day, when you laugh, you might find another joker who's just like you. So what happens? They also enjoy, they also laugh. You have all your hormones which are releasing. You have something called dopamine. You have something called oxytocin, serotonin, endorphin. All of these things will start pumping when you laugh. And when you're not laughing and when you're not smiling, you're forever sitting like you didn't go for potty today. Then I think the body starts releasing cortisol. So we have external sensors, and all our external sensors are what we see, what we hear, what we smell, touch. These are the basic ones. There are many others. True. But let me tell you one thing. You must keep these senses activated. 90% of the negative feelings are because of the sensory perceptions. It's because the body perceives something. You see fire, you start thinking, oh, something is going to happen to me. Nothing may happen to you. So negative thinking is very easy to get attracted. And I find that the whole world is now in a situation where your missiles are guided and your men are misguided. People are all divided. It's very easy to divide people. Today, vegetarians have a gang, non-vegetarians have a gang. Those who don't eat have a gang. No milk has a gang. Milk has a gang. At the end of the day, people are becoming narrower and narrower and narrower. And actually, we're all just human beings. As a doctor, let me tell you, for me, man, woman, non-binary, everybody is just a human being. If you have a heart beating and a brain working, I just believe that you're capable of everything that anyone can do. So for me, being a stand-up comedian has helped me to connect to more people, brought me more friends, and I also discuss a lot of serious matters being funny. For example, I tell people that today brands are trying to be human and humans are trying to be brands. So when you say a statement like that, it's a very strong message. I said our missiles are guided today, our men are misguided. You see, people laugh, but there's a
yes.
very strong message
There
there
is a
also.
message there, absolutely.
And that's why I said the most difficult times for many of us are the ones we give ourselves. Now, what I'm trying to say is like these things are said by some spiritual people or the other, but at the end of the day, it makes solid sense. So if you ask me the philosophy of my life, I would tell others also, find something you'll die for. मतलब इसके बिना मैं जी ही नहीं सकता. And then start living for it.
Working on it, yeah.
Working on it, live for it. Your life starts becoming super.
Super, yeah. True.
So,
Very true.
it's all about self-care, self-love, self-interest, self-exploration, because I'm the only one available to me. I cannot keep changing others. I change myself.
जी जी. You know what? हमें बहुत बचपन से हमारे घरों में संस्कार दिए गए हैं, हमारे सोसाइटी ने भी हमें सिखाया है कि you are capable of everything. You can do it. जब especially when we are in a sports ground, our team will cheer up. You can do it. Go for it. You can do it. Go for it.
Yes.
But somewhere I have limitations also. And you know, हम लोग काफी practical बनने के चक्कर में we have become more insensible and more dry, and we many things we say which we don't even know that we have said. We do not feel it, we don't realize it. For example, sorry और thank you, ये जो दो words है जो मुझे especially बहुत trouble देते हैं, because they are said in a very practical manner. People do not mean it when they say it.
Yes.
So what is that we should express ourselves?
If I say what I don't mean, you'll feel it immediately.
Right.
And that's how human beings are. It's a vibration.
Absolutely.
And I feel your vibration. And there are some people जिनसे आप बात भी नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन अगर आप उनको देखेंगे तो उनको avoid ही करेंगे आप.
True.
Why? Because there is a vibration which is pulling you apart. And there are some people you love talking to them. You don't even know them.
Yeah.
But you feel like talking more and more.
What
is that? That is a vibration which is positive, where you're able to connect to that vibration. अगर आप में जियो वाला सिम कार्ड हो और आप एयरटेल के टावर के नीचे जाके खड़े हो जाओगे, कुछ भी नहीं होने वाला. So there's something called synergy. And it's very important to develop synergy between people, but important to develop synergy between you and what you say. It's called linear thinking. What you think is what you feel, and what you think and feel is what you act upon, which means what you say. Many people think one thing, feel another,
and do something
another. That's when you feel they don't mean it.
Mean it. True.
I think one thing, I feel the same thing, and I speak the same thing. If I don't like something, I'm not going to say, wow, so nice. If my boss is horrible to me, if my boss is horrible to me, I'm not going to walk behind them every day and say, what a nice man you are. What a lovely lady you are. And that means you're being fake. The whole world is hypocrisy.
No, but then that is what is in demand.
Yes. So there are two ways to have success. I have observed many people, and in my experience, there are two ways to be successful. One is Shakti Marg. जहाँ पे आप शक्ति वाला मार्ग पे चलोगे, सच बोलोगे, you feel the truth, you experience properly, you'll not do anything which is wrong, your integrity is 100%, and your likability is very nice. So people think that, wow, what a person. You have one kick, practice 50,000, is an expert. The other person does not have expertise, does not have the truth, does not have integrity, does not have anything. What does he do? वो भक्ति मार्ग पे चलेगा. मैडम वाओ क्या हैंडबैग है, यू नो क्या गाड़ी है, आप क्या दिख रहे हो आज. सो व्हाट हैपेंस, अगर मैडम स्ट्रांग नहीं होगी ना, सो शी विल फॉल फॉर दैट,
get carried away. Yes.
So she gets carried away. So there are two ways to achieve success: bhakti marg and shakti marg. Shakti tough, shakti takes time, but shakti will be there forever. Self-made individual. Bhakti is a choice, mostly for the weak.
Yeah.
And if you want to do jai 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 jai, you can do jai 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 jai, and you can walk behind anybody. And that's why you call them chamcha.
Chamcha, yeah.
हाँ. And chamchagiri बहुत चलती है.
बहुत ज़्यादा चलती है.
दादागिरी भी बहुत
चलती है, very true.
लेकिन सही रास्ते पे चलना बहुत कठिन है,
कठिन, बहुत कठिन, वेरी ट्रू. और आपके प्रिंसिपल्स को और आपके वैल्यूज को पकड़कर चलना बहुत ज्यादा कठिन है. बट that as you rightly said, that makes you a strong person and that gives you a wonderful identity also. Ushy ji, एक प्रश्न आता है मन में कि you know what, if you tell people that see how children react, they forget immediately, they start mixing with friends immediately and they are normal once again. But not humans, sorry, adults cannot take it in that manner. My argument here is mostly childhood problems are physical problems. गिर गए, ये हो गया, वो हो गया, that kind of thing. बट एडल्टहुड के जो प्रॉब्लम होते हैं ना, एडल्टहुड के, वो होते हैं बहुत सारे मेंटल, बहुत सारे खुद ने बनाए हुए होते हैं, दैट इज ऑल्सो ट्रू. और बट it's lot of a toll on your emotions, and that's where they are not able to handle it, because as one thing you said, they are weak, and second thing, they are misguided. So
and they are influenced. You see, your environment influences you. The people around you influence you.
Yes,
like I said, the energy around you. If you tell me 10 of your friends, Ketaki, I'll tell you who you are. Like attracts like. And if you have a lot of trouble in your life, you are attracting trouble.
Yes.
You must change that.
Yes.
If you change your vibrations and your energy, you will attract better things. How do you do that? Through meditation. In India, though we are the founders of meditation
and yoga,
talks about meditation, karte bahut kam hai.
True.
Maximum clientele who meditates are from the Western world.
Yes.
Those who meditate here get confused.
Yeah.
They mix up religion for meditation.
With meditation, absolutely.
And that's the reason some religions say, I don't want this.
Yes.
Now, unfortunately, meditation is a practice of the mind.
Absolutely.
It is not a practice of religion.
Yes, discipline of the mind.
Meditation is just like आप व्यायाम करते हैं, exercise करोगे, gym जाओगे body के लिए, mind के लिए आप क्या कर रहे हो? कुछ भी नहीं.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yes.
If you have bath, your mind doesn't get clean.
No.
You're overthinking. You just said that people are thinking too much. So in today's world, everybody is thinking too much. The slower the brain, the more powerful you are. The lesser the thoughts, the more stronger you are. And that's one of the key to good, peaceful processes in the mind, great calm things that happen in your life. And somebody who can handle any situation without getting stressed out, without getting fast, without getting angry, without getting agitated, without actually flaring your temper. You become calm, cool, peaceful, and happy. And when you're in this state, you'll be able to handle any problem easily. When you're in that elevated state of high energy, which has no direction, you tend to fail and you'll be wrong in what you're doing, because it's like driving in the rain. If your windscreen is not clean, you cannot see in the front. Meditation cleans your windscreen and it gives you broad vision. It gives you slower thinking and it slows down your processor. What happens? You have about 30, 40, 50,000 thoughts in a day. How are you managing?
Absolutely.
Just by going for 30 or eating your food and going and having spa, those thoughts are not going anywhere.
Going to vanish, yes.
For 50 years, those thoughts are still there. So you must have a practice to take off the thoughts that are not needed. And a meditator can do it on their own, because you become a passive witness to thoughts. The problem with us is, हम लोग ना हर thought पे गोबर डालते हैं, fertilizer. Every thought grows into a cauliflower. It's not necessary. Some of the thoughts you thought were only thoughts, nothing happened. And that's why people have to understand that every thought is not real. And every thought is not a fact. Everything that you see is not real. And everything that you feel is a perception. Please don't judge. You cannot say this is a good person, this is a bad person, etc. You can say this person is behaving badly. This person is speaking badly. But you cannot say you are bad. The biggest problem in people is they do not separate the person
and the behavior. Makes sense.
They do not separate the child from the behavior. Good behavior means mera bachcha, just like me. Bad behavior, this one is just like my husband's side. And this is exactly what people do. All the good things you want and all the bad things you don't want to take ownership. अपना घर साफ रखा करो, लेकिन कचरा लेके दूसरे को घर पे नहीं फेंको. You have to be very careful. Don't throw your garbage in other people's house. Don't keep garbage in your head also. So for everything, you need to be mindful. You need what we call jagruti, awareness. You need 100% awareness. And many of us are distracted. आप यहाँ पे बैठोगे और किसी दूसरे के बारे में सोचोगे. ऑफिस जाओगे, घर के बारे में सोचोगे. घर पे बैठ के ऑफिस के बारे में सोचोगे. You're completely 100% unaware, never 100% where you are. So in today's world, distraction is high. Awareness is low. Stress is naturally
very high.
Super high.
Yes.
And nothing to manage it. Just jamming.
Yeah. So everything is accumulated and then and it's a big burst. Being a doctor, you know how many people are facing.
90% of the diseases are caused due to stress.
Yes.
It's caused due to cortisol.
Yes.
And as a doctor, I can tell you that meditation does reduce levels of cortisol. Man is nothing but chemicals and water. The balance in water and chemicals, you will be comfortable. Small illnesses come to everybody, but you can at least be healthy and you can recover fast. ये कोविड के जमाने में आपको भी मालूम है, सभी यूनिवर्सिटी में ग्रेजुएट्स बन गए. सारे डॉक्टर गूगल पढ़ के एक डॉक्टर बन गए. एक प्याज लेके घूम रहा है और दूसरा लहसुन लेके नाक में घुसाता है. कैसे डॉक्टर लोग हैं? एंड दे आर जस्ट लाइक बिलीविंग एवरीथिंग. एंड लोग भी व्हाट्सएप पे ऐसे मारते रहते हैं, हैव 2 लेमन जूस, हैव काढ़ा, हैव दिस, एंड सारा काढ़ा वाड़ा पी के एवरी डे आई गेट फोन कॉल, एसिडिटी हो गया, ये हो गया, वो हो गया.
You know, अभी तो व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटी बोलने के दिन आ गए. वहां से सीखते लोग.
वहां पे बहुत सारे वाइस चांसलर भी बैठे हैं.
बहुत ज्यादा. और कोई उससे कम है ही नहीं. You know, अभी जो in this context, I want to ask you a very important question. How to develop the immunity to others' opinion, because mostly it is not a healthy opinion that you receive. And as you rightly said, we get affected, we get influenced, and then the whole lifestyle and the pattern changes, and that is damaging to my health, my mental health mostly.
Well, I will say, do not accept less than you have the potential to be. If you become immune to other people's opinions, only then you can be successful. Only then you can be you. Only then you can be happy. Only then you can be calm. Only then you can be the individual that you're meant to be, which means you can elevate yourself to a different level. Unfortunately, the mind is conditioned. Right from childhood, you're always telling your children to dress well because others will see you. You're telling them to behave well because others will want you. You're telling them sit quietly because others will think something of you. The conditioning begins at home.
Yes.
And I believe at some point we should not shadow condition and keep children at home, keep on restricting people, keep on making them smaller and smaller as individuals.
And keep on preaching them, do this, do not do that.
Too much of instructions. Parents mean well. They want something good for the children. But when you become too instructive, when you have an apple, both of you are apples, you'll have apples only as your children. Please don't try and make oranges out of them.
Out of it, true.
Yes. So there's genetics.
Yes.
There's also a certain amount of environment.
Absolutely.
The same child conditioned in the forest will be different from the child that's conditioned in a urban atmosphere.
Very true.
Everybody thinks differently because your environment matters.
It's different, yes.
And I believe 90% of us are conditioned first in your houses, second in your schools. Unless our education changes,
yes,
people can never ever change.
And there is a lot of imposition of many things on us, which we like or not, and by some reason we have to follow it, we have to go through it, and as you rightly said, and everybody becomes a herd, and then they just follow. They are not able to take independent decisions themselves. Doctor, it is a mind game, as you rightly said. But if I do not think with mind, rather with my heart, I am not sensitive. Okay. And being practical, if you say always I have an opinion or always I have a question, that makes me unwanted, or that makes me dry. So how do I strike the balance?
Well, you cannot be devoid of emotion. Emotion is king. And all of us are emotional as people. Some of us show it, some of us don't.
Don't, yeah.
Some of us show it too much.
More
so then
loudly,
you
yeah.
dramebaz.
Yes.
And you keep all titles for them. Some of them are quiet, so you call them patthar dil. And you call them all kinds of things. So please don't judge people. And that's why I tell people that every person is individual, every person is unique. Only look at what are your great qualities and how you can better it. Please don't look at your weaknesses and try to work on it, because as human beings, we are not God.
Yeah.
Human beings, all of us have some problem or the other. As human beings, we have flaws.
Absolutely.
And this quest to become perfect, this quest to become, everything that I should be, I think that is what brings on stress. Accepting reality will make you very comfortable. Accepting people for who they are makes you extremely comfortable. 90% of the time, there is a husband or a wife trying to change each other.
I know.
And when they change, they'll say, "You're not the man I married." You understand what I'm saying? People are mostly never happy with what they have. And when they get what they think they want, they're still not happy.
Not happy, yeah.
So happiness is not something you get outside. Happiness is
within. Yeah.
And
very true.
It's very independent of other people.
Yes.
So the strongest people in the world are those who can speak their mind and their heart, and those who don't care about anybody and everybody. I do trust some people.
Yes, of course.
Tell me some things, I definitely will take their feedback. But I will not trust the whole world.
Everybody.
You stand straight. So when you stand straight, many people get a chance to keep talking rubbish. Yes. They throw stones. Being a woman, they talk more rubbish.
More rubbish, yes.
It's good. It's good. I invite them. And that's why I keep telling people, नंगे से खुदा भी डरता है. मेरे पास तो कुछ है नहीं, तो जो तो आप या तुम ले लोगे, तो फिर क्या? What's the problem? There's no problem at all.
I have nothing to lose.
If you have strength and self-belief, the sky is not the limit, your mind is. Everything is about expansion of the mind.
Yes.
And that mind can be expanded to infinity. The mind is the only organ which does not die, even after you die.
Yes.
And even after you're born,
yes,
there are evidences of so many memory. Where is this memory coming from? It's like your hard disk. It's always loaded with things, not only from this life.
Yes, it's retrieving a lot of data from the previous
There are many evidences that even when the brain dies, the mind keeps you alive. And there are people who narrated experiences like that. There are functions which the mind does. And the mind is a functional unit of the brain. The brain is macroscopic, but the mind is a different entity
altogether. Yes, absolutely.
And many people don't understand that.
Yeah, I working on a book called Mind Beyond Neurology. And it is written by Swami Ranganathanji Maharaj, the president of Ramakrishna Mission, 11th president, and my guru as well. Therein he has explained, he has given the lecture to the neurologist of America, and these lectures are documented. And in that he has said in a very philosophical and a very spiritual manner that how the beyond all your medical technology, there is one subconsciousness or consciousness or the supreme power that works, and that is most important.
It is. I've experienced it.
Yes.
And as a doctor, I can tell you, when I thought that a case is hopeless, the case suddenly comes back to life.
Yes.
And when I think everything is okay, all of a sudden life just vanishes. And I have seen people go there and clinically they were dead and they've come back. And when they come back, they talk about experiences which are very strong. Of course, some people bluff and write books. It's very easy because we can't cross-check, right? But I'm trying to tell you that in an average majority, you ask a lot of Buddhist monks who are my friends.
Yes.
I work with a lot of monks. I work with a lot of genuinely spiritual people. I work with a lot of people who are spiritually very achieved. They are energetically very ascended people. They all have some beautiful explanations of the mind.
Absolutely.
I'm a firm believer of the mind. Yes. When I deal with others, I use my heart. When I deal with myself, I use my mind. Because the mind does not have emotions.
No.
The mind governs emotions.
Yes. And it does not lie. It tells you the truth. And then you...
Yes. And it confuses you. It's like a monkey.
Monkey, yeah.
Sometimes it takes you to different places. So it's very important. Like if you want water to be powerful, build a dam. If you want your thoughts to be powerful, you need to dam your thoughts. And that is possible through meditation.
Channelizing it. True. Makes a lot of...
That's meditation.
Absolutely.
Meditation is a one-stop shop for everything.
Yes.
And meditation doesn't mean कि झाड़ के नीचे जाओ, vegetarian बन जाओ, नंगू पंगू बन जाओ, कपड़े ये कलर के डालो, उस कलर के डालो, अगरबत्ती जलाओ, दिया जलाओ, इस सब चीज की जरूरत नहीं है.
झाड़ फूक करो, ये करो.
Anywhere. You can eat anything. You can have any time of the day. Just keep 15 minutes for you. You reach out to us and more than happy to share what is the simplest and the easiest ways to just watch your thoughts.
Yeah.
Watch your breath, watch your thought.
And as you rightly said,
your thought, you definitely...
And I echo your point. You respond to your mind and your body and behave accordingly, live accordingly, and it tells you clearly what it wants.
The body is just a vehicle.
Yes.
And the mind is the driver.
Yeah. Ushy, what is the charm in calling myself 18 years old when my body is clearly denying it? And they say age is just a number.
Now, let me tell you one thing, okay? Since, I always find everything funny. Aging is a concept. Many people have this philosophy of anti-aging medicine.
Correct.
I have a philosophy of gracefully aging medicine.
Yes.
And I believe you should be comfortable with who you are.
Yes.
I will say, when I say I'm 18, it means I'm young at heart. But I'm old in certain other parts. And it really happens to all of us. Physical aging is a reality. You cannot stop it. But you can age strongly and you can age gracefully. It means that you can be healthy.
Yes.
Your mind will be full of life.
Huh?
Your thought processes will be more positive. And at the end of the day, your memory will be sharp. If your intellect is working along with your emotion, that means you have arrived and you're in a safe space.
Super.
Sometimes when the mind is working faster than the rest of the body, that's when you tend to trip. It's like electricity. You don't need a 3-pin socket to run a regular hairdryer. You need a 3-pin to run a geyser, which means you're actually sprinting the marathon. You'll be tired. You cannot sleep well. You end up eating rubbish. There's emotional eating. Many people eat when they're sad. Many people eat when they're happy.
I know.
Many people drink when they're sad. Many people drink to celebrate. Everything is an excuse. I believe be a master of efforts, never a master of excuses. And there are people who keep having excuses. I don't have time. My work is very tough. I don't have money. My situation won't permit. I don't have a quiet place. You're full of excuses and I don't deal with that. Life is all about choices, Ketaki. It's about what you choose.
True. Very true.
You're powerful before the choice.
Yes.
But once you make the choice, you have no power over the choice. The choice has power over you.
True.
So I always tell people, take 5 minutes. Do your thinking before you're choosing. And then you end up becoming a powerful person. When I say somebody is powerful, it's not because he has an AK-56.
No.
It is because he has a mind.
Powerful mind.
A mind which is so powerful. The server is so big and powerful that it cannot match anybody's. If I just go near them, I start feeling so good. I start experiencing so much joy.
Energy.
It's like going to a perfume shop.
True.
You don't even buy perfume, but when you come out, you'll be smelling beautiful.
Yeah.
So always hang around those people who have high energy.
High energy. Very true. Makes sense.
So you'll feel like 18 always.
Yes, very true. You know what? Sometimes when you clearly see that the situation around you is saying that it's not going to work, you can't do it, then why go against the current? And then you name it as rebellion. So when to be courageous and when not to be courageous?
Let me quote Benjamin Disraeli. He's a very famous guy, and I really follow a lot of his quotes. He says, as a rule, man is a fool. When it's hot, he wants it cool.
Cool, yeah.
And when it's cool, he wants it hot. Always wanting what is not. So at the end of the day, let me tell you, you're a fool if you take on a challenge just because it's a challenge. You have to be a calculated person. You have to understand the risks involved in it. What kind of a person are you? Are you a risk taker? Are you a high risk taker? What are your capacities? Are you capable of handling a problem? Or do you have somebody who's a mentor whom you can follow on? You said you have a guru. So you have somebody whom you can ask things. Why? Because they are ascended in terms of their mental energy. So all of us need to have ascensions. All of us need to have that. We are self-sufficient, but we also need an ascended soul to listen to. Whatever the SIM card that you have inserted, you need the tower.
Absolutely. Perfect.
Unless I activate that SIM card, you will not be able to use it. And that's why we have people above us, we have people below us. There are challenges. Don't be a fool and accept every challenge. Don't make life difficult for everybody and yourself. There are easy methods. There are simple methods. There are strong methods. Just don't do things because others are doing it. And that's why a meditated mind will not jump and be a monkey mind. It will think, it will become slow, it will become clear, and it will become strong. Slow, clear, strong is new, clear energy. NEWCLEAR, you and me are nothing but energy. Good energy, bad energy, high energy, low energy. Everything is energy. And energy which can be highly contagious, more contagious and more lethal than COVID.
Absolutely. It influences you in a fraction of a second. And
in a second. In a second. Yeah, so if you have your barriers and you have a server which is very strong, you become virus protected. Otherwise, everybody else's thought is like a virus. Your system crashes. You keep feeling, every day evening, I'm feeling tired. What did you do? Climb Himalaya, is it? So some people are sitting in 5-star homes, in 5-star comfort, and still tired every 5 minutes.
Still cribbing.
Oh, I need a coffee. Oh, I'm tired. I need a drink. Oh, I'm tired. I need to party. Oh, I'm tired. I want to go and listen to some music loudly. All of that is what? It's an illusion.
Absolutely.
It's Maya. It's complete illusion. People living in big illusions, big bubbles.
Very shallow life. Very
shallow life. Like I said, they made the choice. Now the choice controls you. See, if somebody may give me $1 million, I will not lie. If somebody gives me $1 million, I will not do the wrong thing. Whenever you have a choice to be right and kind, choose kind. You'll always be right. So I'll never do things to harm others. I'll never do things which is like not supposed to be done just because nobody's watching. That's why they say it's very easy to watch people who win a game, Ketaki. But true people are those who lose a game and it's good to watch them. How you handle a loss will tell me a lot.
It's very important,
That's why they say, that's why they say character is nothing but what you do in darkness when nobody is watching you.
Absolutely.
Because most of us are wearing mukhotas.
Most
of us, that's why they say all of us have masks. COVID made it real. Nobody has the courage to be them.
Nobody has the courage to tell the truth. Absolutely.
In your family, you're one person. In your workspace, you're one person. With your friends, you're completely
another person.
How can you be three people every day? That's why when you're going to sleep, your brain is asking you, who the hell are you? Because it's also confused. So that's why I tell people, come in alignment. Come closer to who you are. You'll be always comfortable.
And accept others, respect others. And as you rightly said,
don't try changing.
Don't be judgmental. Let them be the way they are.
Don't be judgmental. Don't expect things from people. Always understand that reality is different from expectation. Those who are expecting all the time, they'll be unhappy most of the time. And that's why they say stress is the gap between reality and expectation.
Expectations.
Desires. I thought, but. That word but comes in, And that is the biggest trigger. We all have triggers, and that trigger will bring on stress. So I think after all my experiences with the mind, with the brain, with the body, with illness, with wellness, I think wellness is doable. It's much less expensive. And at the end of the day, prevention is definitely better than cure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt about it.
Mental peace is one step above happiness.
Yes. Being content is above happiness.
I'll give you anything. I'll give you anything. Make me peaceful. And I just smile and tell them that the most difficult times for many of us are the ones we give ourselves. You did it. Why should I set it right?
True.
I can show you the door. I can put it over there. It's your job to walk through it. It's your job to understand what you did.
Absolutely.
Yes.
In this context, how to break the personal barriers in the personal performances. What happens now? We are not at ease while, as you say, interacting with the life experiences. And then because we carry a lot of ego and we carry a lot of wrong conceptions. And that is where we are not able to perform, or we are not able to put ourselves the way we are.
Well, the challenges which most of us face, Ketaki, and why it's, the problem that you mentioned is always a problem. Where we are not able to perform, and we are not able to, accept things. We're not able to move forward. We feel stuck. It's because one of the primary challenges for a human being is emotion, time, and attention. It's called ETA.
Yes.
Whoever you are as in the emotion controls you. Emotion is a switch, and it controls you every day, right? Now, time. 90% of your time goes on social media and messaging people. Messaging people.
Messaging. Yeah, true.
I got good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. By the time you finish your good mornings, 1 hour is over. So you're investing time. No, you're wasting your time. Time and love can only be spent. It cannot be bought. The truth is we are dying the moment we are born. I'll request everybody, cut down your screen time half an hour. Imagine half an hour is 30 minutes. You can do something constructive.
Better, yes. Absolutely.
It's very important to plan your emotion.
Absolutely.
Try and manage it through some mind practices.
Absolutely.
Through some mindfulness exercises.
Absolutely.
Through some affirmations.
Yes.
It's important to look at your time and the challenges of time that you have, where I would ask you to do all the important tasks and avoid the urgent and get somebody else to do the urgent tasks. Keep your personal and your professional tasks separate. And at the end of the day, always have at least half an hour of me time. Otherwise, you become frustrated. And the last one, your focus. If you open the window, one man sees the sky, other man sees the mud. You got to change your focus. And for you to change your focus, you need to maintain what we call a journal. I suggest people to maintain a journal because you cannot remember everything. Your brain is always forgetting. It's clouded. Sometimes you'll remember, sometimes you won't.
You don't.
So it's really important to understand 3 philosophies. I am, I have, I can. I am is who you are as a person. Write it down. I'm kind, I'm angry, I'm selfish, I'm cunning. Keep it with you. Don't show it to anybody. I have. What do you have? I have a house. I have a laptop. I have a family. I have food to eat. I have a car to drive.
Absolutely.
I live in a good place. What all I have? Everything right now. At least 3-4 things. And then I can. I can speak. I can sing. I can walk. I can talk. I can see. I can speak. Okay? I can draw, I can paint, I can sing, I can do so many things.
Yes.
So I write that down. So after 1 week, you'll know who you are, you know what you can do, and you'll know what you have. What is this? It's a personal audit. And it's very important to do a personal audit. Most of us are ungrateful. Most of us are grumbling. Most of us are comparing ourselves to somebody else. And I want people to understand that you are unique. You have no right to compare me with somebody else.
Absolutely.
I have no right to compare my life with your life or somebody else's life. So when you do this personal audit, after about 3 weeks, you'll have so many things to be happy about.
Absolutely.
And you'll also find 1 or 2 things which you can change. Self-assessment is the best form of assessment. If I tell you also, unless you feel like it, you will not do it.
Yes, yes.
Even if you do it for 2 days, you will stop doing it unless you feel like it.
Very true.
And that's why I do this, I am, I have, I
I
can.
can.
When you do the self-audit, nothing is a challenge anymore. Nobody will call you a rebel. You will always end up doing things in your own unique way. You will innovate, you will create, you will always be a leader. I'm a born leader, I'm told. But it's not that I'm born. I've always practiced
it, absolutely.
And I've actually brought out the qualities which make you a leader. So when I succeed, the success is everyone's. And when I fail, the failure is only mine.
Yeah.
And I think
you are responsible for, as you say,
people, but people don't do it.
Don't do it. And people do not believe in the thing that whatever happens with you are the sole responsible person for it.
Well, you know, nowadays everyone makes fun. Somebody is a motivational speaker. I'll come and say, do this, do this. But the fact remains, motivation is like bath. You need to have it every day. Motivation cannot be listening to somebody and say, and become like soda bottle, you know, and next day, you know, immediately push. You have to learn to manage yourself.
Yes.
Self-motivation is something that you need to practice.
हमको खाने से पहले दिखाने की बड़ी जल्दी होती कि हम क्या कर
और वो भी नहीं मैडम, ये चीज है कि मोटिवेशन ना बात बहुत आसान है एंड वर्ड भी बहुत छोटा सा है लेकिन आप अगर उसको एक्सपीरियंस करोगे और खुद को मोटिवेट करते हो बिना शराब बिना गाने या बिना ऐसी चीज के कभी भी लोग पूछते हैं मेरे से कि मैम कुछ लिया है क्या
इतनी एनर्जी कहाँ से आई
Yeah, you're high because you're on energy. You're running on the fuel of your mind. And I think when you can generate that fuel, then the perfume shop effect goes everywhere. Sometimes kids of mine, friends of mine, my patients, all of them call and say, "Ma'am, 2 minute बात करो आप मेरे से." And we'll be very comfortable because आपसे बात करने से बहुत अच्छा लगता है. क्या अच्छा लगता है? I'm just an ordinary human being. I'm not God. And that's why I keep telling people that I'm not God. But they're comfortable because of the energy. They're comfortable because the energy is affecting them. They're comfortable because the aura is strong. And when you go to a strong person's aura, it's like going and having a bath. And that happens only when you're motivated. Highly motivated.
One last question. How much spirituality essential in an individual's life?
Spirituality is everything, Ketaki. You can have a spirit who's not human, but you can't have a human who's not spirit.
Super.
So I will say that the spirit can exist without you, but you cannot exist
without spirit.
And you will realize that. The sooner you realize it, the better it is.
Yes.
The sooner you get away from this Brahm, that you are everything, you know, in the true sense of the word, and मैं सब कुछ कर सकता हूँ. Okay, ये चक्र तो missing है, लेकिन घुमाते रहते हो इसको. I want to tell you that learn to be humble, grounded, and you're nothing but energy. Absolutely. And that energy comes from a very, very, very superior source. There is above all of us. Some people say he's God. Some people say it's a she. Some people say it's a he. I don't care. I know there is a force above us. And that's called the universe. And all of us are nothing but pieces of light. And that huge mass of light that produced us is somewhere, somehow, always trying to protect us.
Yes.
And spirituality is nothing but trying to be of help to other people, trying to make your life useful to not only you, but also to many other people. Spirituality means that I'm able to accept me and others without judgment. Spirituality means that I'm able to love people without condition. Spirituality means I'm able to help people without expectation. And spirituality at the end of the day means that I am human. And I can always become a better human being. And that possibility comes in because spirituality is the fuel that keeps you alive, that keeps you expanded, that keeps you joyous, that takes you to a plane of being happy and high forever. And I think that is the spirit. It's experiential. You have to experience it.
Agree.
And for those of them who haven't experienced it, there's no difference between you and a doggy. There's no difference between you and a piggy. There's no difference between you and that donkey, because the only difference between animals and human beings is the fact that we are gifted with intellect, we are gifted with thinking, we are gifted with speech, we are gifted with the capacity to love, and an animal loves unconditionally. And I believe that human beings have too many conditions. We have lots of lessons to learn from the animals, and I believe that the animals are nothing but a lower version of spirituality. There is a spirit in everything that is living, and there is a spirit in everything that is non-living. And I think you should treat everybody with respect.
Respect, absolutely. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam. In everybody there is.
Live and let live. Live and let live.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in Bhagavad Gita,
you know, my freedom ends where your nose begins. And today's world, you know, everybody's talking about freedom, nationalism.
There is a fashion, right? Yes.
Disturbing others. My freedom does not come from disturbing other people.
Yes. I have no right to disturb you or trouble you. In the name of freedom.
I have a right to do whatever I want within my confines. When I hit your nose, you have a right to do whatever you want. Together we coexist. And coexistence, we need to practice that. And when you say coexistence, it's not one over the other. It's one next to the other.
To each other, yes.
Yes.
Yes. So what Bhagavad Gita says that Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam, every human being is a potentially divine person, but people do not accept that, and people make it very complicated, and they do not believe in simplicity and mutual respect. As you rightly said, it's just a coexistence, and people should accept it and allow everyone to grow, be happy, be prosperous, and just be the way you are. It was wonderful talking to you.
Likewise, thank you very much for trusting me, for reaching out to me, and for believing that maybe I can add some wisdom to the minds of people who are listening. And maybe I can make new friends, and maybe I get more opportunities to share with people, and maybe the best opportunity to learn from people. So I think you're the newest friend in my long list of friends. And I believe that, again, it's nothing but the connection of the soul. The universe has a strange way of connecting people. And when connection,